How's it going, everybody? My name's Eric. I've been kind of MIA about the last week or so, and I do apologize. I just feel kind of weird putting out printer tutorial videos when our lives have taken such a shift. I've been a lot more active on Instagram than YouTube. I have a deep love and respect for the elderly, and they are the ones who are in trouble right now because of the coronavirus. If you have parents that are older, grandmas and grandpas that you love, it's just kind of scary to think that something can just come in and wipe them out. And it's very sombering, and just the whole situation really sucks, especially now with the economy taking the hit from the industries and whatever. But this video isn't really about that. I want to give you guys some actionable tips that could help you during this season of our lives, that might help you with your reselling business. It might help you with life in general. And then I'm going to give you a little update on what I'm doing, and then I'll close the video out with some final thoughts. But if you haven't already, please give the video a thumbs up. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope everyone is doing well, staying safe, and not freaking out. The best thing we can do right now is not to panic. Got a similar feeling to hurricane preparedness to me, which I'm used to. And that's the whole stocking up on food, not so much on gas right now because gas stations are open, but who knows if that ever would change, I don't know. We are in a weird economic time, arguably recession, we're mid-recession, possibly going into a depression. Number one thing is not to panic. We are resellers, we are merchants, we will find a will and a way. The first thing that we've been doing that you could be doing as well is very obvious. List your backstock inventory. I think people call it death piles, gold piles, money piles. It's a virus pile at this point. All the stuff that you've been buying and feeling bad that you've been buying because you have more stuff to list in your back. Get to that stuff now, because thrift stores are starting to close across the country. Places to source from starting to close across the country. Eventually, they will be closed across the country. Having that stockpile of stuff to do is going to be crucial, because keeping busy is going to help you a lot more than it's going to help somebody that's not used to working from home. The shift in day-to-day activities probably isn't going to be a huge different from us because we're so used to being at home anyways. So we do have an advantage there. Another thing you could do is increase the quality of your items. If you have a pair of shoes, for instance, a pair of leather boots that you listed as is, maybe you could buy some leather cream off of Amazon for 10 bucks, cream them up, make them look good, start polishing stuff, making the pictures look better, going in, adjusting your listing pictures, because if you don't have new things to list, that's pretty much all you could do is adjust the previous listings to make them a little bit better. eBay's got that new feature where you can pull background out. You could do that to your pictures. Make sure that you are shipping worldwide if you're not already, because it's not affecting every country the same. So maybe somebody in Japan is going to want your vintage clothing. Another thing that I've been doing, and my wife has been doing as well, is we've been going through our own closet, picking items that we like, but we don't particularly need, or we're not 100% in love. I mean, we don't particularly need like a lot of it, but we're not all in love with it. So we are starting to list some of our personal stuff. I encourage that. It's going to be a good time to part with things that you don't necessarily need. Converting it to cash could be very, very important. I have a ton of jackets. I really don't need them. And we're starting to list some of my nicer jackets that I've just been holding on to because... Also, if you haven't already, start looking at the possibility of local sales. Facebook Marketplace, Letgo, OfferUp. I prefer Facebook Marketplace just because I think the population tends to gravitate more towards Facebook. A lot of people have the accounts. They feel safer meeting up with somebody that has that old Facebook account, that with the information that's been logged by Zuckerberg and the government has, or whatever. People just feel safer and they're on Facebook Marketplace. The messaging notifications are so instant and it's just really easy to deal with. Think about things you could sell on Facebook Marketplace, maybe appliances that you're not using. I tend to sell more electronics, hard goods, appliances, furniture on Facebook Marketplace, bigger things I wouldn't want to ship. Video games are going to be doing very well. Things that people are going to be using at home are going to be doing very well. Board games, puzzles, things that are going to be occupying people's time that are not used to staying at home all the time. If you have an extra computer, a desktop, a laptop, wipe all your personal information off of it and consider selling it on Facebook Marketplace. A lot of people are going to be working from home. Students are going to be starting to be virtual schooled. Quarantine time, people are working from home, getting virtual school from home. So an extra computer or a tablet that you don't really need could be very useful to sell right. And then all the other stuff like sending offers to buyers, answering all your messages, optimizing listings, all that kind of stuff you can do. You should be doing that anyways. But those are some actionable tips about reselling. Hopefully people are not just like jumping into the stock market because things are on sale, because you have to look into the future. Do you have 3 months of expenses saved up? If this goes on farther and your spouse loses their job, you lose that income, because there are going to be a lot of job cuts, especially depending on industry. With the whole Saudi-Russia thing, oil's getting hit hard right now. The hospitality, the airline industry, people are going to be losing their jobs. I think a lot of the automakers are going to be losing their jobs. It's going to have a domino trickle-down effect where we could see a lot of unemployment. Having cash reserves to pay for things rather than just jumping straight into the stock market is going to be a valuable thing, because the alternative, if you just like went and bought a bunch of Apple stock and expected us to rebound in a month and we don't, you're going to end up selling that Apple stock at a lower price point, losing money because you have to buy food for your family. So I don't recommend jumping right into stocks if you aren't in the position to do it. And usually investors have their debts in order, or they don't have any debt and they invest accordingly. Personally, we have been buying some index funds on the way down, but we have the means to do so. As for my personal plans, I've touched on it earlier. We are selling a lot of things on Facebook Marketplace. We're selling a lot of personal stuff. We are putting our 60-day notice into our apartment complex in case we need to book it to Florida if things get really bad and stay with family, because there's no reason for us to be out here. My wife's actually not working right now. I'm not working a 9 to 5. She's not working a 9 to 5. So we're in Texas with all of our family in Florida. So we might just try to liquidate all of our stuff as much as we can, fill up the Priuses, and book it back to Florida. Oh yeah, and an update with me, I totaled my van. Well, my van got totaled. I didn't total it. I got rear-ended. I never really posted about it on YouTube. I posted about it on Instagram. You guys saw it, but I got rear-ended the first day I came back in the States the first day I came back to Texas, I got rear-ended on my way to an oil change, and it crunched the back of the back door. Esurance totaled it after some back and forth because they wanted to repair it or cut me like $1,000 check, and I was like, no. I got a quote for $3,500 and they totaled it. So we took that money, added some money to it, and bought another Prius. So we have 2 Priuses now. We would load them up and book to Florida. I just wanted to update you guys with the cars because I'm always trying to do car stuff for YouTube as well. Another plan that I've been having is working on getting my Texas pharmacy license, because it's going to hedge our options for the future. So if you have another trade or a skill that you left for reselling, or you've just been like putting it on the side, you might want to explore possibly using that. You are a nurse or a dental hygienist or some sort of medical professional that possibly might be in a higher need, then maybe explore that option of getting back to work in the temporary downturn in order to supplement your income. So I've been working on my Texas license. I also could go back out to Arizona to work a contract or try to pick up a job in Florida if need be. I also said we're buying some index funds. We're buying VOO on the way down, a couple shares a day, because we're trying to just like dollar cost average on the way down. Because we've bought food over the last couple weeks. I was posting on Instagram that we were buying a little bit of stockpile of food, and I think everybody sees this getting worse over the next couple weeks before it gets better. I see huge economic impacts. I see huge political impact, huge health impacts. Honestly, our grandmothers are at risk, which really suck. We are trying to save up as much cash as possible, because if recession hits, depression hits, loans get defaulted on, we want to be in a position where we can use the cash to purchase a property. I don't have any property right now. We rent. We might go stay with family while we're continuing to save cash in order to try to grab a house at a deal when we can. That's kind of where I'm at right now. I'm probably missing some things, and I will maybe update. I do want to continue to create content. People still need printer tutorials. I get reached out to on Instagram. Although it still seems kind of weird to be putting out printer tutorials and helping people with printer stuff in this time, I will still try to continue to do it in order to keep my mind occupied and to still provide some value and solve some problems for people during this time. I'm about to go into Goodwill. It hasn't shut down yet, so I'm gonna go in there. Primarily, I'm looking for an HDMI cable for an Xbox that I'm working on. I gave away my last HDMI cable with a PS4 I sold 2 days ago, so I need to go find an HDMI cable. Thank you guys so much for watching this long-winded video. If you have any comments or questions, put them down in the comment section. And just remember that to try to focus on things that are in our control, not to panic. That's like the best thing you can do. Prepare, not panic. And I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Take care. Bye.